I do it at the same time.
Zoom it in.
Bounce myself up.
Wow. That looks nice.
Oh, nice.
I shifted it down a little just because I didn't want to make it. I didn't want to be too much because none of the stuff explained at all. So for any like
That actually sounded like you hit me because of that. You made it sound like Benzo was actually hitting my hand.
A happy coincidence.
Yeah. Oh, Benzo.
I might know once you show it.
Oh yeah.
The G-Man.
Hi Nostro, hi Bento.
Hi, I'm Nasho. Nice to meet me. Did you know this is pre-recorded live?
Oh wow, hello.
This is pre-recorded?
Yeah, pre-recorded live.
Welcome to the pre-recorded
Just
event.
yeah.
This is live pre-recording.
Yeah, just read my status, bro. There you go. That's.
But yeah, like I'm like actual promotion would have been nice, but they didn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Nice.
No, that's not the one that's supposed to be shown.
I see it. I see
Yeah,
it.
was like,
Okay.
hey, I'm Asso. Nice to meet me.
You have 15 minutes.
Hey Fiona, hey Rubik. Oh,
Hey, how you doing? Yeah.
Good. I feel very small looking up at you both like this.
You don't have to.
Yours be like.
There's always next month, and next month, and next month, and next month, and next month.
My lightning.
Hey, hey, silent shader.
Yes. Light clamping fixes that like completely.
Oh.
Okie dokie, I'm gonna get started. Everybody, take a seat. Take a seat over there. Take a seat over there. Everybody, get away from the entrance.
Can I
Take a
sit on this
seat in the seat
staircase?
area. No.
Oh.
Everybody had their nap.
5 more minutes. Oh.
Why 5 minutes?
Welcome to the Avatar Roundup! At this monthly event, you're welcome to share and promote anything surrounding avatars. From rad components to rigged characters, keep in mind the community guidelines and credit anyone's work that isn't your own. Each presenter has up to 15 minutes to share, and during this time, feel free to ask for the dark environment or audio link to emphasize specific visual effects. For further information, visit communitymeetup.net. At the entrance to the pavilion, a trio of spheres can be used to toggle the mirror, camera, and shadows. The spheres are temporary, and the options may become more verbose once VRC implements that world menu scripting. Speaking of scripting, if this instance crashes from some failed network logic of mine, exit the area calmly and check the Roundup info channel on our Discord. I've introduced audio link and a few scripts of my own, so I wouldn't be surprised if something flips a bit. Now let's begin to round up everyone who would like to share. First, form a line on the opposite side of the stage from north to south based on the time you would like to share. I'll then take a photo of the presenting line and hopefully pronounce names properly. Please come forth!
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Oh, lots of people today.
So north is this end, south is that end. So whoever would like to go first, go over there.
Yeah.
Whoever would like to go towards the end, go there. Well, there's a lot of folks today. Hope I can get everyone in the field of view. Yeah, just start like over on this side of the mirror so that there's more room for everybody.
Hi, say tell Andre I said hi as well.
He can see you.
Oh, he can. Hi, Andre.
Wait, which is early? Is that
Love you, Andre.
Oh my god, this streamception.
Oh my god.
I don't know if he does it on, they don't do it on purpose or not.
I don't know, but that's what's on the YouTube right now.
Yeah, that's why I commented to streamception. Okay. I don't know if you look at your chat.
Check the screenshots, everybody stay there.
Wait, you actually wrote that? Damn it.
Yes, yes.
No more joysticks for it. I mean, it's like at the same
Inception.
It's interesting. It's like a fitting room in a clothing shop.
Thank you. All good Rubik may return to the other end. As they are presenting first.
Yeah.
Yeah, presenting Taku.
Oh wait, where's the mirror?
The mirror is there, Fiona.
The white wall.
So, if you step onto the stage to present, your voice will then be amplified.
Okay. So at this point, a couple months ago, because we wanted to visit the Roundup.
Oh, the audience rather.
The audience. A couple months ago, Fiona and I started watching the anime called Odd Taxi. And for those who haven't seen it, you really should, because it's honestly one of the craziest one that exists. Fiona describes it as a mix between Twin Peaks and what was it?
I don't remember, but yeah, it's got a very Twin Peaks vibe.
Twin Peaks, the anime.
Yeah, pretty
and it's full of animal characters, so they're super interesting references. Specifically, we basically stopped in the middle of the show and said, okay, it's been a while since the both of us had made anything in Blender, so we just wanted to make anything, and this was really good inspiration. And so we started doing this, and 2 days later, we both had our models, and yeah, just imported them in the VRChat, and that was it.
Yeah, the rigging on these, I think, one of the things that's difficult about this one is because the llama head is so high, I had to do a compromise and put the viewpoint here so that the shoulders don't do this, because I don't know how to do the complicated rigging stuff with constraints and stuff, so I just compromise with the viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean,
Where's
most of
your
the characters in the show, my viewpoint is fine. It's just that it's the issue with all the very small characters, but with large arms and stuff. It's a terrible full body avatars. It does just not work. But yeah, I mean, for VRChat, it's still good enough, and we just wanted to make something as close to the anime as we could, and I think we did a really good job at that. But there's plenty more characters that make me want to go back and model to, because they're also, I don't know, cool in their own way. But yeah, those were the basically two main characters, and so this was an easy choice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They look so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woo!
Great. I want to watch this
In this
show.
lighting, I'm quite blown out, though. I'm just like...
Yeah.
Let's see
What do you
if
happen to be using? Silent shader.
What are you using?
I disabled the shadows to see it properly for now.
Yeah, if you disable shadows, then it comes out much better.
On the screen,
I
it
don't remember what
comes
shader
better.
we ended up using. Some
It's
shader.
just right through the camera.
Wait, is it really that different from the camera?
Shadow mask? Shadow ramp mask?
Yeah.
It's still too bright.
Oh my god, that looks way different.
Yeah.
With the shadows off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then you can actually see the shadow ramp on the tune. So like trying to match the outlines and the shadow quality that was in the anime to the characters in VRChat. Like obviously lighting varies a lot, but as well as like there's some things on this that the shadow is actually painted into the texture, just a little bit, so that I think I'm trying to see. There's some very subtle things, like, and there's like no outline on the face, so there's also a mask so that you don't have like artifacts on the face. Same thing with yours, right? So like some of these outlines are actually in the texture, some of them are the shader, just so that you can get
Yeah.
a consistent look.
There was very little artistic liberty taken with this because all the references from the anime were very consistent. Even the what are they called, the golden leaves on the shirt. Like they actually tried during the show to be consistent about the main design. So if you look at like any time during the show, it's likely that they will have the leaves in the same spot. So that's really impressive. And that made it, like, for me, an easy choice. I didn't have to think about where to put them to make sense. I just literally took any screen from the show from different angles and put them there. But yeah, I don't know, I've never done outlines before in shader, so it was, a thing to try out. There was my first pair of hands too with actual good topology, and by good I mean awful, but it still worked. Yeah,
It works.
the rest was like
As long as
it was
works.
not. I mean, it looks, whatever. He has weird hands, and it doesn't matter. No, I mean, yeah, nothing too crazy modeling-wise for either of us. I think we already had done things to that
Yeah.
level. It's more trying to be as close to the base, the source model, the source thing, as we could.
Well, actually, I'd never done an anime face. So this is completely poly modeled from scratch, right? And I've never done that. And it's sort of funny. He's like, after I did this, I was like, oh wait, I made a furry.
We all do that engineering.
Confirmed furry.
Yeah.
Can't deny it anymore.
I know. Nope, I just sat inside you. That's a problem. This is a really hard character to be around because he's so big.
Yeah, it's a really fun. Like, I don't know, for those who have small characters, I think you can relate. Like, I don't know. There's something different about having your hands be like you can't extend your arms. I don't know. I like the way. Oh, also I had to, because most of you probably know that the VRChat custom, the default idle animation has your arms pretty close to the body, and so I had to just make a custom idle animation specifically with the arms wider, so that in desktop my arms just don't like rest in my body by default. That was the only thing really that I had to do for this model to make it work, because the rest was okay, no constraint or anything, just your weight paint.
Are your visings working on that?
They should. It's just hard to see because he has a very,
Oh yeah.
large
yeah,
snout.
you can see his mouth
Snout,
moving.
you can say.
Yeah, I can see your mouth moving.
There's
yeah,
also
yeah.
two gestures. I never know. I don't remember. How to see? Yeah, okay. This one, like the stressed face, and happy face. There we go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I basically tried to pick some expressions from the character. So shock, smile, worry, smug. I'm trying to remember what else is there. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
Really well made.
Woo!
It looks so good.
Good work.
I gotta watch text.
Where we get to.
Very nice.
What was
Very nice work,
Thank
you
you
so
much.
what is the anime called?
Crazy
Odd
taxi.
taxi.
Crazy Taxi?
ODDTAXI. I think it's one word.
I'm sorry.
It probably odd taxi.
Crazy taxi.
Wonderful work. I don't think I've seen, unless you've
I think
made
it's on
your
Crunchyroll for free, honestly.
default. Unless you've made your default characters, I don't think I've seen anything from you two. That's yours, Fiona, is
Always
fantastic.
yeah,
The face is lovely.
This is the first thing I think I made like that.
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't often have. I don't work on avatars a lot because I don't have time. This happened to be. I was supposed to go on vacation. American canceled my flight and couldn't get me on a plane for another 2 days, so I had literally 2 days to do nothing else. It worked out.
You made that in 2 days? Nice.
Set it to American.
Oh yeah, we did it in 2
Wonderful
days.
work. The next person up is Melting Arm.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm gonna show off one avatar and two particle effects. So first, noodles. People will probably see me giving out noodles to everyone. Simple, low poly noodle particle. Anyone that's a big fan of this noodles, want this particle, just tell me, I'll give it here. And I want to show off. So first, this was a speed build avatar, platypus. And so basically, I did this live within 4 to 5 hours. It was for a world that was also a speed build. So, I'm trying to do one of these. Oh, it's actually really dark in this world.
Turn the shadows back on?
Depends.
A platypus.
No, even with the shadows on, it's still fairly dark. Oh, it's still dark.
Yeah.
Well, I probably should.
The avatar.
It feels like there's too
So,
much material, maybe.
I probably haven't set it up right. Juice was very kindly let me use the fur shader, or his modified fur shader for this avatar. It really made it get through this really quickly using like a low poly model and making it look decent. So this just generally has a couple of different facial expressions and then just a flap for the jaw. It was as fast as I could go. I wanted those to get on quest, but I ran out of time, so I did what I could. And see, I wanted to show off speed build.
You said it was a speed build? Was that for like a certain event or just for fun?
So for fun. So me and the friend Zerk are working on every 2 weeks we do an avatar and we do a world. I do an avatar and model the world, and then he makes it work. So this was to go with Twilight Marsh. So it's avatar for the world.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
And so I wanted to show off this prefab I'm working on. And I call it this is just an Xbot, well, it's the paper airplane prefab. So it's paper airplanes. It's a foam airplane. You can put down a target.
Target? Oh.
Oh. And then hit the target, you get an effect.
Nice.
Wow. Fun. So this is the prefab I'm working
there's
on.
more than
Anyone
one.
feel free to clone this and use it.
Nice. Ooh.
I gotta try this.
Styles, different things. If anyone clones this, make sure not to hit desktop mode, because desktop mode will make it think you're on desktop and freeze your arm.
Oh no.
They're everywhere.
And there's different styles. So we've got a soccer one here.
Every middle school classroom when the teacher leaves.
And this kind of be just a very fun thing, because a lot of avatar tricks tend to be really visual, really nice, but like most people just like the toys, like the yo-yos and stuff. So I was like, hey, what could I do that's kind of like a yo-yo but just, fun? So I did this, and it's pretty simple. Just a buff for particle, and then the way it's constrained to the hands. Oh yeah. Try to turn this off. Also I have one more avatar. And when Juice first gave me his fur shader to try out, I decided to make not a cotton fox.
Oh god.
So it looks a bit weird in this world, but yeah, it's not a cotton fox. That's all it is.
Not a cotton fox. That's actually like a hairy skeleton.
I can see it.
that's all.
Particle systems.
If anyone wants the noodles, let me know. I'll have the particle system with the airplanes up somewhere soon. I'm not too sure when. Still kind of working out some bugs, but yeah. That's all.
I'm super interested in the.
I knew it would be nice.
Woo! The airplane particle system is
Nice.
wonderful.
And actually display that.
Yeah, it's so much
That
fun.
seems incredibly fun.
Wait, isn't that what that is?
The
Is that?
camera? Oh,
Does that show on that screen?
The camera?
Little camera?
That's the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that camera shows on that screen.
Oh, how do we enable that?
Oh,
It's one of the buttons over there.
The golden sphere.
which
I'm on TV.
I'm impressed with how many people I'm walking over there.
My arm is on TV now, hang on.
In real life.
There you go.
Yeah, another good setting to is the shadows because it looks terrible on some shaders.
It depends on who's showing.
To climb block.
If you get it through Ribbon's legs.
I don't have the planes, but I can try with the arms.
Get it through Papyrus hoops. Get it through hoops.
That was awesome.
I'm
just like a.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I wasn't showing this avatar today, but if anyone hasn't seen it, this is something I've made. Today I wanted to kind of go back in time a little bit, and I wanted to show off some avatars when I was first coming to VRChat, like the kit bash style, where you just take a bunch of parts off DeviantArt and you make a character. I'm kind of fond of this time period because even it was like 2 years ago, I'm a little nostalgic, but I made a couple characters that I thought were pretty fun. Going way back, I had, when I was feeling comfortable about this, I made one for a friend, and these aren't super optimized, by the way, because of like dynamic bones and stuff, and just a ton of textures, but this was a character I made for a friend, and since her username had Pocky in it, I basically made her have weapons that were Pocky sticks, and this was just really a fun little design. Trying to remember it. Yeah, I think it's rock and roll. No, gun pointing. I had it working a moment ago. Anyway, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's been a while since I've used this. And so I have a bigger one I'm going to show at the end, but I just wanted to like kind of show off other stuff that I had made. This one was a character that was just basically a lot of armor parts. I wanted to make something more like anime, medieval kind of thing going on with wings. Like these are just a bunch of parts. I can't take credit for modeling any of this stuff. So it's got like a visine for the helmet, and that's it. Some people think it's like it looks similar to what's that game? I'm drawing a blank. No, it was the character B2. It was not unintentional to look like that, but
Nier Automata.
Nier, yeah. I still haven't played that game. I'm sure it's really good, but all right, moving on. So this was like one of the first characters I put a lot of effort into. I had this concept for like a weird sort of skin texture, something that was like yin-yang themed. So I put this guy together, and I kind of use him as like one of my defaults. I actually found like a head and a body that actually seemed more interesting to work with. Something from an actual, or something for like a male character at least. A lot of these Kit Bash characters, they're all like, it's like they use the TDA head. I don't know if anyone's ever explored this kind of model avatar creating, but it's like you go around every E-boy and E-girl, and they all have the same head with slight modifications. So I was so bored of that, and I wanted to do something unique, and I found a head and a body from entirely different sources. And then I just kind of went with this fun concept of like painting in Blender and making two different channels and doing this yin-yang pattern. So, and finding an outfit that had a shirt that was open to show it off, of course. That was the fun part. I also got one feature working on it, the AFK animation. So if I take... I should be sharing...
That's fun.
No, that's cool.
if shaders are not on, I'm probably just standing there. And I can put the headset back on, and then I come back. So that was basically this guy. I like to use him a lot, but I got him down to a good rating, but it's still like a couple too many materials. I should probably combine them. Okay, so the big one I wanted to show today, though, was one I've been working on for a while. I basically had this really weird concept in my head based on a concept art I saw, and I was like thinking, you know, it'd be really cool if I could make an avatar whose head was split in two and had two halves that were just this weird, over-the-top design. And with that, I went to work using the same head and body. I constructed an entirely new character that is just this wild experiment that I came up with. Oh, you have shadows on. Very glowy. And so the concept was to kind of just like, you know, take a middle head bone and do constraints on each head half. And it just kind of turned into this guy. It was just like I found an extra bunch of parts. I went for sort of that mystical Asian theme going on. I had to find an outfit that didn't have a chest area, so this is actually from some female character in a Korean MOBA, you know, MMO, free-to-play mobile game, something. I don't really know what the outfit is for exactly, but it was really well developed, and I was like, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to put that on this, and so forth. And I had this idea to just, I don't know, go with it. Like, I'm going to fill in the whole center of the head. I'm going to have to redo all the mouth physemes for an open mouth. And I just kept working on it for like a while. I think it took me a couple months just on and off, like tweaking, like, I don't know if I like this. I need to find a hairstyle that's parted in the middle. It was just a weird little adventure of exploring this stuff. And I kind of went with that motif where he's kind of cut apart in like the hands and the feet. And I don't know if this will work really. This was something I was experimenting last night. I did get an AFK animation working too. So make sure shaders are on, but and then he's gone. So then I can put it back on, and then I come back. Yeah. So I was able to get that working, luckily. From what I can tell, I feel like I'm really glowy. It probably looks better on the camera.
Turn off the shadows over here.
Yeah, the shadows feature, it's a little tricky. I like to have the lights on, but you know.
I scrub it depending on the avatar.
Adjusted their emissive properties in their toon shader over there, so get that slider, get that on you.
A slider would be cool. I don't even think there's emissive on this body. I mean, I have a mask where it's only supposed to make the eyes glow. But that's supposed to be it. But anyway, yeah, this thing could be more optimized. I just need a way to make it so there's, you know, dynamic bones don't take up so much. But I'm kind of just hoping and holding out for the feature VRChat will implement for the more optimized version. But
Physics bones when?
Yeah, I know, really.
Physics bones when?
So.
When they're ready.
All right, so that's it. Anyone has any questions? I'll be on today. But thanks for letting me show. I googled it. I can send it to you. It's some random guy's black hole shader, but it was.
Honestly, I feel like I've used that black hole shader.
Very expensive.
Oh, are they? Oh, see, I had no idea. I just thought it was like, I'll throw it on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks cool. I was yelled at before.
Yeah. I'm gonna sit over here. Alright.
It's nice seeing where you started out, Rapidor. The models the avatars that you've shown off previously that are your own creation have been incredibly creative. Especially with how you've, like, worked around the limitations that you've made for yourself. It's interesting to see where you started.
Very fun limitations.
So the next person up would be... Next person would be Ereshayan? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yep, Fox, where's Fox?
You guys sit a little bit. Alright. So, I came up here, and I realized, wait a second, I forgot that what I'm about to show off uses cameras. So, the only way you can see cameras is if you're friended with that person. So, for anyone who wants to see this gimmick, you'll have to friend me first. I swear this isn't a ruse just to get a bunch of friends.
You just want friends.
Yeah,
we figured you
real
out.
quick.
Trying to hit veteran, bro.
Brace yourself.
Oh my gosh, here they come.
What a strat. What a pro strat.
Oh my gosh. I'm clicking check as fast as I can, I swear. Holy heck, look at all those yellow names.
Rejoin the instance in the cache.
That's my own.
I have to rejoin?
What are these working at?
Okay.
Well, we'll know in a second, but that's...
Well, I'll tell you what, how about, I think Juice is next, right? How about he goes, and then I'll finish all this friending and rejoin, and then I'll go after him.
Totally. Sounds great. Come on, Juice.
Alright, I'll be back. Be back for round 2.
Well, I'm just gonna carry on the Fox theme, I guess. Can we enable audio link? Because the first thing I'd like to share is an avatar you guys have seen. I have 2 things to share. Sharpish. I don't know if anyone remembers Sharpish, but capable. Oh, that's very dark. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Is it playing?
It should be. I believe it's very cool.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear it.
I see it.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Turn up that gain.
Kind of pulses of light running
It's
down.
over here.
Yes, rare. Oh, there's an option to enable it.
Subtle. Are we able to control the gain on the audio link tablet? Or
Yes.
There's a control panel by the button. You can people need that.
It's already at 200%.
I like how it's synchronized, but it's log.
But yeah, you can kind of see the light, kind of blinking on the line. I also have some other options in the avatar itself where I can do waves. So it has like a kind of horizontal banding, or trails, which if anyone's familiar with audio link, that's like the 4, what is it, high, 2 mids, and a low, just traveling down the line as it's being generated. Then of course I can adjust the influence. Yeah. So that's all I had for this particular avatar. Just wanted to, I guess, let people know if they were not aware that it has audio link. All right. So the other avatar I want to share is I'm calling it Forb. You'd probably guess why. Let me reset. There we go. So I started making I started a reskin project for the VRC billiards pool table. And I started with the ball. And it's got rolling animations. Oh yes. Like the Cotton Fox, it has a lot of the customizability. Let's see. I'm just gonna hit random. So it's just got a whole bunch of randomizable colors. It's got a whole bunch of different skins. Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling nervous up here. But I've learned a lot in the process of... Oh, you know it. Yeah.
That's gonna be beautiful.
It's still a work in progress, but it's coming along. Clearly the ball part is done. But yeah, if anyone wants to give it a try, I am clonable, so you're more than welcome to. Gosh, what else can I say? I've learned a lot in the process of making this one and making the original Cotton Fox that like I've optimized things pretty significantly in this one. And a lot of that I need to take back to the Cotton Fox avatar because I don't consider this a replacement. In my mind, it's more of like just another version of the Cotton Fox. So when I have time, let's see, gosh, I need more time. I will go back to the original Cotton Fox and work on optimizing and improving things based on what I've done with this one. Oh gosh, I forgot an important detail. It has audio link. Assuming that's still on. Yeah, notice how my fur is like lighting up and pulsing?
The fur grows with every beat.
It does. Oh yes. Anyway, that's what I got.
Being scared.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
I want to play for pool.
I'm gonna enable the lights. Everybody shield your valuable eyes.
Like a man.
5 more minutes.
All right. Was that the end of your presentation, Juice?
Yes, yeah, feel free to move on to air.
Hey, Ribbon, this has now turned into a feed screen. Yeah, when you stepped up there, the only thing I saw was your feed.
Find a way of making them public.
Everybody just wants to see my feed.
Okay, this isn't the avatar I'm showing. I already showed this before. The reason why I needed people to be friended with me was for this little gimmick in prefab I'm about to show. It is kind of small. It's gonna sit in my hands, so if you can't see it, feel free to come up. I can't make it clonable right now because its key system is a little bit broken, so it only works on one person at a time. So I am working on, there you go, a Ray March prefab. So this started out with the base of the, yeah, it started out with a huge amount of help from this prefab called Ray March Rings V2 by this person named Wada. I believe that's her name because it's Japanese and I'm not good at reading, I guess. But yeah, so these are completely Ray Marched objects, so there's no geometry involved besides like a single point, a single triangle to give its position. And I guess a little synopsis on how ray marching works is instead of knowing where every vertex is and rendering every single point, what this does is it takes a camera face and every single pixel on the camera gets shot forward step by step until it hits something. It hits some kind of mathematical equation, and once it hits that thing, it's going to say, hey, I've hit something, and it's going to render that. And then mix with a bunch of other shader related stuff with distance and lighting, all that. You get these kind of objects. So you're probably wondering, why do you want to do this instead of doing geometry? There's a couple of reasons. The first reason is you probably noticed that you get a per pixel kind of detail on this, so you can have something that looks like it has like 5,000 polygons but is only a single face, just be rendering a shader. And because these are use mathematical equations instead, you can use combinations of equations and get some pretty neat effects with it. So right now I have these cubes and this torus, and you can do a mathematical blend on it, giving you this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I knew you were gonna do that. That's great.
Yeah. So the hopes with the prefab is to give people a bunch of different objects, a lot of things that will be attached to that piece of geometry that they can either like attach, maybe make some wacky armor, or to give to a staff or something like that. Just things that people could just easily attach to their avatar. But yeah, you can have good color controls with it. There's other ways, other bits of combinations too. Like for example, here's a difference operation being done. Here's a solid differentiation being done. And here's an intersection one being done. And the last bit for the last reason why ray marching is so fun to play with is not only can you do solid objects like this, because it's all worked off mathematical equations, you can do fractals.
But isn't all 3D graphics based on math?
Yeah, it's all done with distance equations, so anyone who's taken calculus or something related to that for example, like an equation for a sphere is like 1 equals square root of x squared plus y squared plus z squared. Like all those kind of equations are used to give hit points for the traced rays.
There
But
seems to be
I
some
think-
weird rendering happening with that object on your left hand because it seems to disappear whenever I look left.
Yeah, there is a lot of weird stuff that goes on with it because this isn't really a 3D object. This is a camera sitting in the hand that's supposed to follow, but it's because it's really weird to get a camera face to follow exactly and to make sure it's always facing both the player and the right rotation. Yeah, it gets weird at certain angles. Well, at least this specifically does. I think these shapes should be fine for the most part. But also, by the way, this can be blended too, because it's all equations.
Lot of math.
Anything else with this? I think this is practically it. But yeah, so a lot of neat stuff you can do with ray marching. Sadly, not too much you can do about the whole you need to be friends with that person to see it. But yeah, you might also, just so you know, even though yes, grab passing and those kind of stuff does have a performance hit, because of how the ray marching works and how this camera works, your performance will be hit based on how close you are to the object rather than how much it's rendering. So this fractal doesn't cost more than this cube. It's only based on how close you get to it.
Well, we can just implement it in worlds instead of on avatars.
You can do that in a world. Alright, here you go.
We're gonna have to reboot.
Ow.
How actually?
I want to eat it.
He's gonna get an error code.
Suffering. No, I won't go that far. I think it gets like twice as performant heavy. Alright. I guess any questions about it before I change out of it and give people their performance back? Oh, here you go. Well, you could try. I've heard a lot of people already describe it as looking at like COVID, but I'm sure it's delicious.
Wait, did you bring COVID here?
No. No. But yeah, okay. Any questions before I'm done? About crazy nerdy math stuff?
I'm mechanical, I'm fine. That's how ray marches work.
Because this isn't actually geometry, this is a camera that is rendering this object. Imagine like a plane that is the shader. Like, these are just planes that are following your head.
But it has depth. It has like stereoscopy. You have two
Only
cameras.
because you're seeing it from depth.
Yes, I do. I forgot. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, that's why. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it is a hologram. That's a good way to describe it. Okay, anything else?
No explanation needed. Witchcraft.
This is a simulation question, Janet.
Oh, I didn't change the object.
Seems Nestor Blade.
Where are they?
System setup, is that just for the two ray marched objects to just know in relation to each other where they are, so you can do the bounds and do the addition for the blending and stuff?
I'm sorry, can you mind repeating? I had to get closer to hear you.
The two cameras, they aren't like for the view itself. Are they for like knowing where the objects are in relation to each other, so you can do the blending?
It's a mixture of both. I believe in this it is coded to know where a specific piece of geometry is. I have to look at the code again. It's been a while since I've written that part, but yeah. The cameras are specifically to render an object. I believe they go to the player per person. And then there's like these really small, like infinitely small triangles in each part to show where each part needs to be rendered. Because in this case, it's only this triangle right here that is using a material that is rendering both of these objects. It's just grabbing this part and bringing it and rendering there. Hopefully I can write a more clear documentation on it when I finish this refab. But yeah, soon I'll make this available for people to use.
Oh, no worries. Do you want to go next so that you can share before you go?
Okay, I think that's everything.
Oh, cool.
Alright.
You'd need
So yeah, I'm not good with outros.
Woo! Thank you! Thank you for sharing us the gross fractals! Woo!
Gross fractals?
Due to time conflict, the next person up will be Dilly Goat.
That's another thing. That's just connected points.
Hi there. I know I've never been to any of these events before. This is my first time. So sorry if I mess anything up. But also sorry for coming up a little earlier. I have to go out to a dinner with my grandparents in like 30 minutes, or actually wait, like 15 minutes now. But I guess I'll showcase a couple models that I have, and I guess that's what I'll do. So the one I'm in right now, I'm a really big like Undertale and Deltarune fan. I'll admit that much. But it's a character called Rousey, and my big goal with him was trying to make him somewhat sprite accurate while also doing some of my own stylizations, because at least with like Toby Fox's like works, like if you make everything fully sprite accurate, it's not going to be a very good model to use in VR at all. So I had to I wanted it to look real close to the sprites, but I also had to take some creative liberties for how I think he'd look. And basically, I finally did achieve that, I think, but it was kind of a pain because I had to sit there for an hour being like, how do I want his ears to look? How do I want this to work? But in the end I got it, but I have a couple of expressions on here, so I think that's it. Index controllers are a little hard to get this all. But there's a lot more on this model currently, but due to me not knowing how to use 3.0 very well right now, since I'm still kind of new to it, and I don't know if you can switch emote sets or whatever, and just me being anxious to upload this thing because I just made him, I just released him today. I just kind of rushed it out right now, but I think the only gripe I have with this is that just due to the amount of his ears, this fluff and this tail and whatnot, and this scarf, I had to put a lot of dynamic bones on it, and I like everything behind to be in the green if possible, but unfortunately I don't think it was possible with this one. Oh, I've never heard the term constraints until today.
They're so good with me a couple months ago when I came here.
All my models that I use though, I don't use any bases, I make them all from a cube, all from scratch.
I really like that avatar. It looks, oh yeah, it's really visible to see who the character is, even through all of the, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this one is basically it's Undertale, but if everyone has switched positions, so since it's Papyrus is Sans, and vice versa. But yeah, it's a really popular one. But I made one like a while ago, and I just in the Undertale community, there's a big thing with, like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it, but over time it does get oversaturated where people get an MMD base and then they slap different things onto it. And, you know, some of them do admittedly look good. Like, it's not like a bad thing, but like, it became to a point where there was only that. So, I was really tempted, because especially with this Underswap Papyrus, so many people do that with them. And I was really tempted to just model this guy, because there are just, I don't know, each time I saw one of the swap papyruses in it, there were like 100,000 polygons. I'm on an RX 6900 XT, and once there's like 15 of them in a lobby, you start lagging. You will lag like no other. So I made this guy, and I made him public, and I started giving him out to people, and luckily it helps alleviate that problem. But like, just God. Sorry if I'm going on side tangents, but he does have his own expressions too, and he has a couple more. My goal with this one is solely to just make him sprite accurate due to his taller proportions. I didn't have to stylize it as much. There's like a certain set of sprites that a friend made. But he also has some music toggles too, with a couple different songs that people made for him. And this one's in the green performance-wise. Let's see, I have another one.
The only thing you need to do to make this take over the world is make it quest compatible, and then the quest users will just be all over it.
I know. I'll admit, I've been playing this game since like September 2017, and I still don't know how to port stuff to Quest. Like, it's just like so beyond me.
Go on the VRChat Discord, and then there's a quest form. It'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty simple.
Yeah. Android.
Got it. I probably should look at the VRChat Discord. But this character right here, his name's Gaster. He's not like, I guess, a character that has any story, and we don't even know if this guy is Gaster, but everyone calls him Gaster, and I think he's Gaster. This guy's just called Mystery Man in the game files of Undertale. Basically, there's not too much to him. I really like this design, and one day I was just drawing and I drew him, and here we are now. But he has a couple different facial expressions, and also I made a hood for him, and I wasn't sure would he look better with or without the hood, so I just decided to make it a toggle. Because I don't have both.
Options are always nice.
Thanks. It's kind of hard to see here. I think I just didn't configure the shader, right? Because it's just Poyomi, I think I just slapped on, but I'd never make anything 100% black, like when there's a black, like, you know, like clothing or anything, because at least personally, I really like that, like, you know, oh, sorry, one of my base stations is dead, so my tracking's dropping. But, I really like just that lighting effect, like where you just barely see like the detail in the coat, but it's like very dark still. And at least when I was doing renders with him, I decided that this would work better than just pure black. But pretty much all to this one. I tried porting, because there's like, this is like, I guess you could say his non-goopy form, non-corrupted form. He has a corrupted form that I tried porting to VRChat, but everything's backwards. I don't know why.
Oh no!
Everything is precisely backwards. Everything is precisely backwards. Like, I'm looking forward right now. Yeah.
Left arm, left, right,
Yeah. Oh, this one. I might want to remodel her still, because I know a lot of people liked her, but
Oh, I really like the hair, actually. The way you made it up
Oh,
there.
that one's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
All of my avatars that I've been in are clonable in public, and I also post them on Twitter, and they're all free for download. But
So pretty.
I really wanted to make Toriel because at least most of the models of her are very suggestive.
Go, Mom.
To say the least. Or they're not too. Yeah. And I did not like that. Because if you look at her in the game, she does not have that. Or any of that. Yeah, she doesn't have any of that. So I really wanted to make her a bit more based off the game, and also I saw some concept art that the artist for Undertale, Timmy Chang, did, and I just fell in love with it, so I based it off mostly that with like the head and the eyes and whatnot, just because I really love the design. And I've gotten a lot of comments like, why does she look tired and whatnot, and it's because like, just if any of you guys have played the game, know the backstory or any of it, both of her kids are dead, and she's been living by herself for possibly hundreds of years. And
Spoilers!
I think she would be very, very roughed up looking. Yes, spoilers. It came out 5 years ago. But no wait, 6 years ago. Almost 6 years ago. September 15th.
Yeah, it was
the anniversary.
It's ready in Steam.
Deltarune when?
She has a couple facial expressions mapped. Like I said, you can probably do more with her than I did if you just download her, because most of the time I do this, or just I'm too excited to put too much on an avatar, and yeah, I just rush it and I put it out, and I'm like, look, I made a new model. because most of my models take me like, well, this Toriel right here, she took me a day to make. I got done with her a little faster than most of my models. Most of my models take like a day and a half, 2 days. But I got her out. I kind of didn't put much on her. And then I'll go to some of my older models that I'm not as proud of, but definitely want to remodel these in the future. I have Papyrus. And I think the big thing I was going for this is like a mix of sprite accuracy, and also too just like, my biggest gripe with every single Papyrus model I've ever seen was how the head opens, and I don't think my voice is loud enough to really make the visings like trigger, but at least like I like, because like his talk sprite does this, his head goes up from like his neck, like his.
It is visible that it's doing that.
Yeah, like you can see.
And for some reason, as soon as you went into that avatar, the only thing I can think about is date start.
Have some music. And I look this little.
It should be 2D, I guess.
Yeah, after this, I have nothing else to show. Yes, I have a bone that you can toggle.
Can it become blue?
A couple facial expressions.
Give us a pun.
Alrighty. Thank you all. I'll be around for maybe like 1 or 2 more showcases, but I'm gonna have to go out for dinner soon. It was nice meeting you all. Thank you.
Really great work.
Amazing work.
Very nice on all the work, and yeah, thank you for sharing. The next person up is G1 Fan!
It's me, everybody. I'm back. Woo! Peep! Yeah!
You know what they say.
Woo! Okay. So.
Who drew a tomato?
Definitely from over there.
I just wanted to do like. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to do.
Well,
okay.
I can do it too.
Thanks, nice joke.
Yeah.
The big hands.
It's a good job.
Okay, so some of you will remember last month when I was here and I showed off this avatar. That's not what I'm doing this month. But last month, afterwards, some of you might remember the boomerang that I had on this avatar that is a system that Ivy Lister made. And I wanted to make an avatar that uses that as like the gimmick. It's just sort of built around that. And then I went on vacation, and for a week it tortured me because I couldn't make it, and I knew exactly what I wanted to make, and it was a nightmare. And so I came back, and I immediately, as soon as I came back, I made it in like 2 days.
Do you not have a laptop to work on?
No, I had my 3DS, but the modeling on that is pretty limited. So this is Boomerang Boy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I knew he would return.
Boomerang Boy is built around the boomerang gimmick, but you can, take off your head. You might see weird nameplate stuff because I constrained the head to the boomerang, so when I throw it, my voice follows the boomerang.
That's good.
As you can see, it's clonable. It's public. If anybody wants to grab it, they're more than welcome.
So you just throw your head to somebody you want to say something to.
Yeah, you just throw your head at somebody. You can, you chat at them. It's like, hey, Nostro. Oh, you have to get good at throwing them. Yeah, this one's staying public. This one will be public forever. So yeah, have fun. Throw your voice at your friends.
When are you gonna tie the camera to the boomerang?
I thought of doing that, but I thought it would be a nightmare.
Oh my god. It's fucking hilarious, but yeah.
I guess.
All the sound effects.
Yeah, that's.
Just do a position constraint so your view goes out.
But what would be the point? If you're gonna do it, might as well go all the way and have it spin. You know what I mean?
Wait, you're saying the motion sickness. VRChat, get the model, throw the boomerang, and get off.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work for me either.
It's like your own personal roller coaster.
Still attached to your body.
So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's amazing.
Thanks for watching.
You learned me something new.
Thank you.
G1, you learned me something new.
With your boomerangs. What's up? It's you just constrain your headphone to an object, and your voice moves with it. Yeah. No. It helps if you've got a completely disconnected head. But yes, thank you. I'll see you all next month.
You should have thrown yourself.
Thank you for sharing, G1. Very, very creative. Yeah! Woo! Thank you for being here! Woo! Next person up is Cyan Xena!
What spider are we gonna see today?
Fuck off, Dutch. No spiders. Also, okay, hey everyone, I am still working on my endless quest of covering myself in random animals. So the most recent thing was putting another snake on the avatar that already had a snake. So now I have 2 snakes. So I have the original one where he's just vibing on my arm. The other snake, he just goes in circles around my body, and he like wraps around. And that's all constrained. So like if I sit down, like he follows me and he goes around the like it was the hip, the spine, and the chest. It's an absolute nightmare. I honestly do not recommend doing it.
Is it using final IK?
No, it's just constraints, which makes it even worse. So what it is, so the snake is just on the ground. He's got 10 bones that are not, they're all siblings of each other. They're not child parents to either anything. And then in Blender, I used a curve for a path, and I made the path that he follows. And then I used a script to create a game object, or create 40 game objects equidistant from each other on that curve. Right, so now I have game objects going all the way around. And then in Unity, I put a constraint on each one of the snake bones, and they have 40 sources each. Fun fact, constraints cannot be multi-edited when you have over 50 sources. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that just doesn't work anymore? It just breaks.
It's always been like that. Crap.
It just turns blank. If you have 2 constraints and you add up to 50 sources, it just, I know, who does that? Complete idiot. The multi-editing works, and once you add like the 50th constraint or something, the screen just turns blank. Because I guess they just didn't think anybody was going to do that. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. But then, so the snake, how it works is, it's just a simple animation of the bone, go to constraint 1, then go to constraint 2. Every like frame, he moves 1 constraint, and then every other bone in the snake is just the same thing, 1 behind. So then he just crawls around. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's why I said don't do it. Oh, okay. This is actually the second time I've done it, because the first time the snake had 16 bones and there was 80 constraints. So I kind of cut that all in half. The 80 game object version was technically, it looked better, but it actually took a whole ass millisecond to run on my CPU, like in the profiler, because there's so many constraints. So I'm trying to optimize it at least a little bit, because I'm eventually going to have an avatar with just literally covered in animals, and I want it to be optimized, at least fake optimized, where I'm excellent, but I've got like final IK and constraints everywhere, so not optimized, but then I can just complain to people with too many dynamic bones. It's the usual. The usual fanfare with that.
Beastmaster.
I'll be walking around with a whole ass millipede behind me and being like, "You have dynamic bones? Bad avatar." Like 8 VRIKs running.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so that's that.
Yourself with snakes.
I think the main problem right now is, since I reduced the amount of like targets he has, he squishes himself. So I actually had to displace his bones like half a meter away from him, because to keep the head on the body, the rest of the snake was like out here. So then I just manually moved it. So the bones, I don't even know. I can't even imagine what the hell it looks like if you could see where the bones are. But it looks great. So that's all that that's all that matters. The end looks good. So I'll see. I'll see if I can continue optimizing it. I can't really get rid of any more snake bones because it's already difficult to get it to wrap around the stomach. And like, there's no. When I was first doing it, I wanted to wrap around the stomach, go over the chest, around the arm, and then like loop back. But the problem is, it wasn't possible to get it to wrap around like the torso well, and also wrap around the arm well, because the circumferences are so different. Yeah, so just scripting on avatars when, that's all Because it'd be so much easier to not use constraints. Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's everything. Very nice.
It's always interesting to see what you do with constraints IK. All that junk.
I fucking hate it.
Oh, it sure seems like it.
I do this to myself.
Constraints are the worst, but also the greatest. Well, at least we know.
The next person to show is Yash.
Yash, queen.
Hey. So this past month I didn't have much to work with. I was working a lot, so all I did was a few Blender prototypes that I threw together. Get my expression menus open. I did this little hypno disc. It was shader I set up in Blender, but I'm not a shader person, so I don't know how to really set up shaders in Unity, so I just ended up taking a GIF and doing a flipbook animation through Poyomi for it. But it's pretty cool. It's supposed to like make your eyes go all crazy when you look away from it after a while.
What is your bidding, my
Okay.
You have to PayPal him $10.
Another thing I did was last month I showed off the holographic little plane that I did, and everyone was like, could you do it on like different shapes and stuff? So I tried to do it on a cylinder. It kind of works, but it doesn't. Still works better on a plane. Wild. And I also set up a just color on it. So when you're looking straight at it, you see red. When you look left, you see blue. When you look right, you see yellow.
It's still cool.
Works.
Do
And
you have a picture of the avatar of how it looks in Blender with a rounded one?
I tried a rounded one, but to get the same effect of the rounded one.
No, but I mean, do you have a picture of how it looks with the model itself, like you had with the flat one?
It's talking about the actual architecture of like what the polys look like.
Oh no, but this one's actually I made it a lot easier to see. So if I hold it up a camera, you'd probably be able to see it.
Yeah.
You can kind of see the
all those tiny
you got
little yeah.
Yep. Little triangles that come out. On one side's yellow, one side's blue, and then it has a little black triangle on the end to block the view of the yellow and blue from the front.
Yeah.
Is there anything on that screen? I don't see it.
You gotta turn it on over there, Flower.
So the last prototype I made was I thought I'd do a lot of illusionary stuff this time around, so I did a scanimation little slider. I don't know if anyone's seen this. It's just a whole bunch of little planes that when it goes over an image, it will show only portions of the image.
Can you put it to the
It's
camera?
a little wonky.
Oh.
So it's a little wonky because I have it on a radial slider for moving it around, but it kind of works.
Oh.
Depending on.
So depending on what's blocked, that depends on what we see.
I had those when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Taking real life effects and just putting them in.
And then I uploaded different ones.
Oh.
Material, so here's a moving horse.
Damn.
This is
It's a
beautiful.
little hard because I got it on a radial, so.
Yeah, you can't
really,
control
like,
the
slow it
speed
down.
100%. So
And
we
it
can
snaps at like 50%.
have a speedy horse. Yeah.
And I did a few more. Like, here's one I made myself. So it's just blinking.
You could just make an animation and moves it like this.
How do you make these?
So the way I made this was, I start off with just a few, like I did 5 little straight polygons straight down, and I set them each to a single material. Then you take the put an array modifier on it to make it however long you want. Then you assign the material a picture, whatever picture you want, like I did for each frame of it would be each frame of the animation. And then you do project from bounds after you apply the array, and it will actually project every one exactly how you need it.
What is the next optical illusion gonna be?
Oh wait, no, I see.
Raven, can you, can you show them?
And then I just atlas the material, and it creates the atlas for it, so it's all one image.
So it's just a bunch of
But it works.
lines, but the way they intersect causes the illusion. Nice.
Yeah, and how these black planes here actually block specific images and only allow one frame of the animation as it moves.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Then I made, only other thing I made this past month was I made this like 2 days ago, and just playing around with my holographic plane to see what I could do with it. I talked to you about this, and I made it into bones.
No, God.
Oh. It's like fun on those way.
This is not shader based.
This is all, no, this is not shader based. This is all the same holographic mesh. It is 85,000 polys.
Oh damn.
But if you look close with camera.
That is the most roundabout way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's beautiful in its own way.
Where's the
It's taking the statement fuck shaders to like a legitimate.
Holy moly.
Why use shaders when you can just
Yeah, could have. And I also decided to add a UV map to them. So it still works.
Awesome. That's so good.
That's right.
And obviously, got out a hue shift.
How do I know if it's the practical effect of the shader?
My mind can handle it.
He could just have more polygons of different colors underneath those polygons, and he's just no shaders allowed.
Blend shapes, all of them.
But yeah, that's all I did this past month.
That's awesome, Yash.
Any questions?
I love it. What is the next optical illusion gonna be?
Don't know. Just depends on when I have time to do stuff.
Yeah. Start from behind.
That's rad.
It only takes 85,000 polygons.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do finger bones, because that would have been a lot more. And eyes.
God.
I limited it. I was going to get rid of the toes, then I'm like, it was only 77,000 versus 85. I'm like, it's already very poor anyway, so. Added the toes.
That's the spirit.
Already very poor
That's the
anyways.
VRChat spirit. It's already very poor anyway.
Yeah, just do the hand. It's already very poor. It's the limit.
I love
You
it.
crashed me. How dare you?
Yo, get danced on. Get danced on.
Oh yeah, those animation.
Come back and tell him like he crashed me and just Fortnite dances on me. Damn, I've just been disrespected.
Alright, and that's all I did this past month, so.
That was awesome.
Great work.
Do we all have such a skeleton inside our body?
Yeah, it's almost
Blender?
Your virtual optical illusions are always incredible to see. Always. So. But why? But why? You can use a shader. You crashed one person. You must feel terrible about yourself.
I was a casualty.
Just crash him, then he Fortnite danced.
Everything was okay.
Yeah, I got disconnected. I don't know what that was.
The next person up to show would be Marino.
Oh.
Hey, you party people.
Hey, Marino.
So, last month I showed off a customizable avatar, and I noticed a lot of people mention that it felt like an RPG character creator, so I thought, why don't I take that even further, and I made a new customizable avatar. It's clonable if people want to try it out. I'm gonna randomize it a couple times so you can see what it does.
Do you have a female version too?
Yeah, this one, it's built into this one. I can
Oh!
make both the same avatar this time.
One triangles. 3100.
Swap gender.
So there's two different randomizers on this. I should explain what they do because they're kind of different. So the grounded randomize makes it so that your hair and your face are like normal skin color and hair color, and then fantastic like makes it every color that's possible.
Fantastic just made me bold. Pretty fantastic.
That's pretty unrealistic.
I feel like I'm back in like 2009 playing with my Wii remote with the Wii menu with all the Mii's.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of there being so many options, I've maxed out the parameters on this avatar. I cannot add anything else to it.
And you decided to disable the magic.
Yeah, I used all 128 bytes that they give you for the parameters.
Damn, man.
It's bits, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, because a boolean is one. Yeah, 1 bit.
Yeah, you're right.
A byte is 8 bits. Yeah, we got 120.
Damn, somebody took a computer class.
Oh my god.
Yeah, can I have 1 kilobyte?
So you may have noticed I like the color blue.
Yeah.
Now use the gender
They
swap.
call me the blue wizard. Okay.
There's also crazy stuff, like you can make your ears pointy and stuff like that.
Whoa. Oh, let's make the wizard Power Rangers.
Oh god.
Mastodon.
Manually. It's time to manually set anything when I can randomize it.
What color are you gonna be, Nostro? Purple Ranger?
We ever find out just how big the mini
Your wizard
how
dong.
many ninjas you can go with?
I don't know that there's technically a limit. I just know you're limited to 128 bits.
Head
One
options.
float is
Skin
8
color.
bits alone, so it can limit
I'm
pretty
dead
well.
on the inside now.
No integer value? Like, there's no limit to the integer value.
Oh. There is. I think an integer can only be 256. Including 0, I guess it's 255.
It can also be negative.
Oh shit.
And to max out the minions.
Can it be negative 255?
Probably.
I know floats can be negative. I didn't know ints could. Are you sure ints can be negative?
Yes.
Ah.
Just remember, did you add that wireframe?
I knew floats could, because on that 4 I showed earlier, I'm using like velocity to control the spin animation. So it goes positive and negative depending on the player movement.
This is ridiculous. I have a broken stick on my controller after just a month.
Really?
I cannot.
Do you have an index?
Yes, I cannot control anything between 12 and 40% right now. On my left hand.
Is there just a problem with left controllers? My left controller's broken too.
I have
It's got a
I have
really
had
drift.
bad experience with both controllers. Well,
Oh, my right one's been okay.
This
Already put in for an
like, when you go
RMA.
through different colors, Like, this is scrolling through colors, but it's on the radio menu. It's interesting you did that
Oh,
instead
yeah.
of toggles.
I would have made those colors fully customizable if I didn't run out of parameters.
I know that feeling.
No, I was saying like it was interesting you did this as a single radio menu instead of a bunch of toggles. I think it's probably more intuitive this way.
I guess. I wish I could have made it customizable too, though.
Oh, we were talking about how this shader doesn't prefer custom shaders.
Oh, it's a firmware issue. Restarting the controller fixed it.
Just making 40 avatars.
No, it does not at all.
And the scaling is to match the parent scale, which is in a different dimension, and it has to match.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I couldn't select anything between 12 and 40%. Restarting the controller fixed it, so it was a firmware issue.
Firmware issue? What?
Yeah, because now the stick works as it should after I restarted the controller.
Facial gestures controllable. Through hand gestures?
Huh. Well, Valve already sent me a shipping label, so my left controller's going back for a replacement. They just replaced it like a month and a half ago.
We can move on.
Yeah.
But it, yeah.
Mentioned
To
everything
have a
about
problem
the
that
avatar,
soon,
but-
I figured I'd better do something about it.
Okay. It's just that they were showing me the wireframe shader, and then I got
That's
distracted
alright.
with some troubleshooting.
Check it out.
I just know that most times I show off these kinds of avatars, it usually lasts a while, that's why.
My magic power is becoming invisible under a green screen effect.
Now hug me, G1.
Yes, that's kind of crazy. You made a crasher avatar.
Purple wizard. I love you, purple wizard. You met orange wizard.
Hey, what wizard created that creature?
Teal wizards. Teal wizards.
Yeah, but so blue wizard. Yeah, what mage created this creature?
This is ancient magic.
Oh, okay, ancient magic.
Ancient
No,
magic.
what you do is you go last and you crash yourself with the gun.
Hello, teal wizard.
Dude, I'm
green. Just turn the gun.
This is green?
Yeah, thanks for coming.
That's seafoam
Listen,
green.
my magical power, my magic wizard power is being able to disappear under a green screen.
You only see his eyes.
It's
But if he
become
closes
flowing
them,
pair of eyes under
he's
a green
gone.
screen. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Green screen wizard.
Wizards get in. I want to get a photo of the wizard.
Now I gotta look closely at this.
It's the archetype of the character.
It's beautiful.
Gimmick. That's my gimmick.
My hat's
That's my
blocking
gimmick. I'm
everybody.
green. That's my thing. I'm green. That's my thing.
Dummy. Just
I just couldn't get orange pants, so I had to put the green part at the bottom.
It's Peep, the P wizard.
Oh, really?
I'll find that funny.
Oh, I can change the highlight.
Using the camera password myself. Give me a minute.
His catchphrase is "You're in trouble."
I can't wait to become a pizzard, the great pizzard. the great.
Oh, sweet.
No, what do you mean? No, I'm not. They've got a green screen effect. They can't see me.
They can't see
You can
you.
green screen in front of Peep. If you want to cut out yourself, just
Where do I go? Where do I go? Where do I go?
do
Where
the
do I
stuff.
go? Where'd I go?
Where's Pete? Where's Pete? Where is he?
And with that, I make my daring escape.
Contagious.
Got no idea where he's going.
Oh my god, where
We
did
are the
he
Hollow
go?
Man.
I can't find him.
Oh god. Why am I doing this?
Hollow men are multiplying.
This is not the best time.
However,
Are you trying to see how many it takes to start crashing people?
It is an idea.
Here, have a look.
alright everybody, let's move on, because the next person up is Kazakam.
live in a society about it.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm up now. Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Kazi. I've been making models for VRChat since September 2017. Actually, like that other guy that came up here. Funny enough, I have a Rousey to show off too. Later in the presentation, I guess. I've actually known Ribbon for a really fucking long time. Swell fucking person. A big inspiration to my earlier. Fuck you. Anyways.
Hey, you can't do that here. This is an event. Do that after the event.
I can't say fuck? Can I say fuck? Okay, good.
No, you specifically said fuck you. So you're implying that you can't do that at the event. You gotta wait till after.
Oh, don't. Okay, you know what? I only got 15 minutes. I'm gonna go. A big thing that Rousey person was talking about is like accuracy with models, and that's something I've been crazy about since day one. Even with this model, I'm not going to show it off. It's not done yet. It's just kind of scuffed. But accuracy with models is something that I really appreciate. And you might recognize them if you've been around for a while, but... Oh. So yeah, I brought Club Penguin to VRChat like years ago, and I'm still riding off that high. If you want a Club Penguin model, they're like free on my Twitter, at Kazacoms. There's also a Club Penguin avatar world that I really need to update. It's like 5.6, it's ancient, but anyways. That was like a little detour. I wish that Rousey person was still here, because I also made a Rousey, and I was also super anal about how accurate I was to the sprites. Actually, those two over there paid witness to me, just slave over the sprites. But I made sure this was like as accurate as possible. It took me forever. They said they like did the tutorial model in like 2 days. It takes me like a week or two to do a model. I don't know how they do that. How do they do that?
I heard that. I think that's everyone's reaction.
They use time hacks, probably. I don't know. But yeah, this is my really little Rousey model. It's accurate. You can just looks like the sprites. I'm really proud with how good it came out. I did do a couple of things. Oh, are my expressions working? Let's see. Cool. I got like all the expressions too. I forgot which ones do which because I just don't use expressions at all. Thumbs up. I got this one. Rock and roll. I hope this works. Index is really funny with this stuff. I'm like trying to check myself. And
take out your camera. Take out your camera and point it at yourself.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Fuck.
And point it towards the other camera. Point towards the other camera.
Here. Okay. Cool. This is like probably my favorite one right here because it's so goofy looking.
I like how it shapes the glasses too.
It's my favorite. I love how Toby just crudely drew everything. Oh yeah, that was a big thing. That person didn't mention earlier. This avatar, getting a reference piece is a pain in the ass because Toby and Temmie, they both, Temmie worked on overworld sprites, Toby worked on the portraits and the general concept. And they know this character's just like a black hole. They're just a silhouette. So they go like, hey, fuck it, make it look like this. The character changes on each angle you look at with it. And it was such a pain to get it right. But I did it. It looks great. I'm happy with how it came out. Also, I got cool bone constraints. I can like, take the hat off and stuff. And I got like this. And I can also do this. Anyways. Thank you. Thank you. Wait. I gotta do it again. Oh shit. Thank you. Anyways. The other person was also really right. They do have funky proportions, so I do also have like a taller one as well. It does all the same things, it's just tall now. So if any of you Rousey fans are out there, you can clone it. Oh yeah, all my shit from here on out in this presentation is clonable. So, at least I'm pretty sure. Anyways, so yeah, I've been doing this little shtick for almost like 4 years now. So, like last year, I was like, right, I hate my job, and I like making models, so I started a little Patreon, and just like the first one I made, little dragon bunny, and oh yeah, there's like, what is it? This avatar's got a bunch of features. I'm just gonna go through each one and then show off the features because they all share the same features. This. Oh yeah, those two fuckers rep my shit all the time. Tam makes just god tier edits of them as well. So he actually repped his shit like a couple months ago. But yeah, they're so supportive. They're great. But yeah, I got this little dragon bunny that I made. You might have seen them around. I don't plug my shit enough. I'm invisible. Then I ended up making this moth person. I know there's a moth in the crowd. Where's the moth? Are they still here? Right there. Oh well.
Where over there?
Where
over there?
Wait, they're oh, well, no, there was another one. Yeah, you were a llama when this presentation started. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, you, I'm you. Oh, I can do that too. Wait, two can play at that game. Wait. Oh. Ooh. I could also jump on the wings open. Pretty cool stuff. And then the latest one that I've done is this little little alpaca avatar. I call it a Flumpaka because it's like a flamenco and an alpaca. Oh, is correct.
So it has to eat red.
Oh, I thought I heard something. I'll keep going. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah. It has to eat red, right? Oh, it's gonna lose its color.
It has to eat red? Oh, that's a flamingo.
Yeah, but you said it was like a flamingo.
The dancer. That's a ballerina dance. But
and a flamingo's pink anywhere.
Yeah, flamenco, like the okay, you know what? I'm moving on. All the models have some funny, they got some, what is it? Funny animations going on. So, of course, you can what is it? You know, this is probably a little more drag. I can adjust the whole physique of this avatar. Ooh. And I can do a little waistline, and this is all shape keys and stuff, so I can really edit the model and do whatever I want with it. But the big one on these avatars. Oh wait, I should probably show off. I can do funny things with the heel and go ooh. Ooh.
Hey, you can become pink, Flamingo.
I can become pink. Yes, I can become pink. Oh, you guys are insufferable. Okay, I'm pink. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? I don't want to hear it. Stop. I'm presenting. Don't talk over me. Oh my! I only have 15. How much time do I have? People have been talking over me more than I've been presenting. I've been doing this for 10 minutes. Oh my god. That's been flying. But I'm green. Is this green? I can't tell. I got a lot of bloom on me. Green. Okay, we're all happy. We're all good. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay, this is close. It's like safety. I don't care. I'm moving on. Okay. So all the models, they got a cute little tail puppet going on, but that wasn't the part I was looking for. Oh yeah, there's like a set of expressions, but you might have noticed the eyes are a little funny if you're looking close enough, and that's because they're a custom shader I whipped up with the help of Nailstruff and Valar. What is it? I can do this.
The cute, the editor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. So this is a 2D eye shader system. It's all sprite based. So it tracks, as you can see. And it's fucking cool. So yeah, I've noticed, like, since, I started the Patreon and stuff, people like to take avatars and customize them, and I realized using mesh really bottlenecks that whole, like, creative aspect thing. Also, each set has their own, like, expressions and whatnot as well. So I can, like, change between everything. Wait, ooh. Anyways, I'm gonna go with these because they're my favorite of the bunch. But yeah, 2D eye expressions. They use a sprite sheet, as you can see. There's flip between all the expressions and whatnot. And but yeah, I noticed, like, a lot of avatars have the problem of, or better way to put this. A lot of a character's design is put in the face. You can really tell what a character's all about in the face. But mesh is a lot harder to edit than just a 2D surface. And plus, I like to do vector work, and vector doesn't really translate into 3D super well. So yeah, I got to work on this shader with a lot of help, like, from those other guys. Nailstruff and Valar just carried me through.
Now I'm actually curious. Are you using vector graphics for the eyes in the shader?
Okay, so it's a bitmap, but I did make them in Inkscape.
Because I'm pretty
sure
you can use vector in Unity, like SVG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how to do that, but lots of people know how to use, bitmaps, so drawing these eyes in and whatnot would probably be a lot more approachable than working with a mesh or vector graphics in Unity. I don't know how to do vector graphics in Unity, so this seemed to be, like, the best way to get everything fixed.
You should be able to use SVG files in Unity.
Yeah, you can. Show the world that you
I believe it. I'm not doubting it. It's just, bitmaps are much more accessible, so the shader uses bitmaps. What is it? What else? Train of thought. I think that's about it. Yeah. 2D eyes, approachable, nice, and they do all these funny little animation things, and I feel like there's a lot more flexibility with 2D than crossing your fingers and hoping, I hope this mesh works with these eyes. Like, I used to have a lot of clipping issues with, there's such big eyes, but with 2D, not a problem. And, should I explain how the eye system works? I guess the shader? Oh yeah, okay. So pretty much what the shader does is it has 2 points. It has the point of origin on the mesh. This mesh isn't actually, weighted. It's properly just rigged to the head. I'm also going to stop my hand expressions because it's driving me crazy. Right. So, yeah. So it's got its 2 viewpoints, and pretty much what it does, in basic, it draws like a line between the 2 points, and as, your camera moves from the point of origin of the object, it pretty much tells the shader to scroll, and the eyes to scroll. And it'll just slide around. There's a mask to make sure the pupils don't leak out of the head. And it's 3 layers, an outline, a mask, and the pupils. And that's about... Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Yeah, and of course there's, a timing system to make sure the eyes randomly twitch. That was Valar. He contributed that chunk of the shader. And... I think that's about it. Yeah. No? Nah. I'm not gonna fry my brain thinking about it. I'm feeling a little tired right now.
Really cool shader.
But yeah. Yes. I dig it and want to use it more. Also, this is little, I guess, moving on just a little more about these like little alpaca guys, and actually all of my models, they got a lot more shape keys than the demo avatars because it's a demo. I mean, you can tease the avatar a little, you know, appetize it. But this one personally, this is like my own personal one. You know, big fluffy boy, but like the amount of shape keys I'm really proud about because it looks like a completely different character. Like the eyes are gone, they're covered, the silhouette is almost entirely different. I'm really happy how it came out.
Isn't it hard walking around not being able to see?
Who said that? Right. I think that's all I have to present here. Yeah. I think I did good.
Oh, that one uses the 2D eye shader too, right?
Yes, it does.
Oh.
Yeah, the 2D eye shader fucking rules. But anyway.
Yep.
I do need to plug myself. Oh yeah, I do need to plug myself. I'm at, on Twitter at Kazacoms. It's like my name, but with an S at the end. And also I run a Patreon, patreon.com/Kazacom.
Have you posted anything in the self-promo channel?
I have not. I'll probably do that once I sit back down. But thanks for reminding me to do that. My OnlyFans, no. Okay, yeah, I'm good here. Thank you all, wonderful crowd. Ka-chow.
Whoa. The last person up is Peep!
You know, it may seem like it, but I think I've completely lost my ability to model because I'm showing off another public avatar. But fret not, right? It's a good one. It's a good one. Just like all the other ones I've shown before, really, now that I think of it. The faint of heart might want to leave this room, but what I'm going to show, I can walk around, that's so cool, fuck. How do you do this? How do you walk like this?
Full body, I guess.
Anyway, for the faint of heart, you might want to leave the room, avert your eyes. It's very elite material I've come to show today.
Can we get a toothbrush avatar?
Another weird cat, is it?
No. Better. Now this, make no mistake, what you all are laying witness to, RGB, razor support.
It's a bug! Squash it before it infects VRChat.
Make no mistake, the talk of the town. You will wear the metaphorical big boots if you stroll into a great pug wearing this. Trust me, I've done it before.
Oh damn.
Of course, it's
Let's go.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Dude. It's the gaming roach. Dude, sick infinite. Hold on. Oh, gotta get a cool infinity shot with the gaming roach. It needs to. I believe it's the model of a Fallout 4 rad roach, so I think I might just reverse engineer it at some point. You know.
With the RPG features, my computer started running.
Cameras on. There we are. That's about it. You know, it's the gaming roach. What else does it say? Self-explanatory. Gaming roach.
But you're not a real gamer.
I'm realer than you! You fiend! Sit down! Well, you're already sitting! Metaphorically! Get up and sit down! You can't kill me. I'll simply dodge. I have iframes. I trained that hard. Don't make me backwards long jump over there and kick your ass.
Iframes in a horribly desync looks so good. That makes me start jumping.
Whatever he said, like the room stark almost.
Hold your hands out.
It's the audio sync.
No, it's the night mode of the map.
So, it's the end of the day. This wraps up the Roundup of September 2021. Thank you to those who participated. It's truly wonderful witnessing what you've created. And here's to hoping to see you all again next month. Thank you.
Okay, that was the rehearsal, guys. Now we gotta do the proper thing. Boo.
Good to stand. Oh! Oh, the other shoulder needs to stretch.
Now I gotta stop the stream, but I'm too lazy to.
Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna be the outro today.
Oh no, it'll end when it ends. It's pre-recorded, right?
Yeah, it's pre-recorded. Oh no, this was just the rehearsal for the actual event.